What up, everybody? In Ghost Season 3, Episode 4, we were briefly reintroduced to a familiar face, Junior Valdez, who Blanca Rodriguez now calls Agent Young. So I just forced myself to go back and watch Power Episode 612, where Junior guest starred in the only actual Power episode he was in, even though we heard his name mentioned throughout the original series. I say I forced myself to watch that episode because I found Junior's mama, Paz Valdes, to be one of the most annoying and agitating characters in the entire series. I mean, the lady would just not accept the fact that Jamie, aka Ghost, didn't kill her sister. Even though everyone told her he didn't, even the cops who were willing to arrest Ghost for anything straight up told her he didn't kill Angela. She even had her son Junior convinced that Ghost killed Angela. When the news showed that Ghost was going to be Lorette Walsh's running mate, Paul asked Junior if he saw the news, and he said, yeah, Angela's killer's going to be president. Then Paul went on a mission to try to stop Ghost. In the meantime, Junior's life was a mess. He was out of school. I'm not sure if it's for summer break or because they didn't have enough money to pay for the previous semester after Angela's death. I'm not sure the exact time frame. I do know that Junior is a few years older than Tariq and was already in college when Tariq was still in high school. If I was guessing, Junior was home for the summer and it was his upcoming school year that he was not going to be able to pay for without Angela's pension. So Junior was stuck all summer taking care of his grandpa, who suffered from dementia because they weren't able to afford to keep him in a nursing home after Angela's death without her pension. During this episode, Junior told his grandpa that Angela was dead, which caused him to have an anxiety attack and end up in the hospital. Before rewatching this episode, I honestly remember Junior being just as annoying as his mom, but I was actually wrong. He was a little annoying, complaining about having to take care of his grandpa and not being able to pay for school, but honestly, this would be the typical behavior of most 20-year-olds in the same position. Junior, though, was a lot more level-headed than his mom. When Paz found out that Angela was dirty, she told Junior that they might not have known everything Angela was doing, and Junior replied, so she brought this upon herself. But Paz was not able to accept this and still blamed Ghost and still wanted revenge. After Ghost's death, Paz found out that Ghost had been telling the truth and that he wasn't involved in Angela's death, and that Tommy Egan was the actual killer. She also received a large inheritance from the St. Patrick estate, so Junior was able to go back to school and Poppy could go back to the nursing home. The Valdes family was restored and everything could return to normal. But this wouldn't satisfy Paul, so she went after Tommy Egan to seek revenge for her sister's death. But Tommy Egan was already gone, had his whole loft cleaned out and everything. Keep in mind that Tommy was previously moving out of the loft anyway to go live in a big house in the burbs with Keisha before her death. The next time we saw Paz Valdes was in Ghost when she had to take the stand to testify at Tasha's trial, and she was heard saying that she has put that part of her life behind her. Easy enough with all that inheritance money Ghost left her family. While Ghost's own family was left with nothing, Tasha received nothing, and Tariq had to complete college before receiving his trust fund. Ghost did pay for his mother-in-law Estelle's rent for 1 year. At the end of Ghost Season 1, Tommy Egan also faked his death, so as far as Paul knows, Tommy is dead. One question I have though is, did Paul tell Junior that Ghost actually didn't kill Angela and that it was Tommy Egan? Or did she just let him believe that Ghost was responsible? Getting me to our current timeline, and Junior has graduated school and got him a big-time job with the DEA, working for none other than Blanca Rodriguez. I wonder if Blanca knows that this is Angela's nephew because for whatever reason he's going by the name Agent Young. I'm not sure if that might be his actual last name from his father's side of the family or what. Because as far as we know, Junior's father was not in the picture. That is why Angela had to take care of him, and they didn't have no one else to turn to after Angela was killed. So my question is, will Junior be an ally or an op to Tariq? Because we know the hate that Junior had for Ghost and that he was ready to go to Truth and kill Ghost himself before Paz stopped him. But after finding out that Ghost restored his family and paid for his college so he could get that big time DEA job, he may feel a sense of gratitude towards Ghost, especially if Paz told him the truth that Tommy Egan was actually Angela's killer and not Ghost. At this point, he should have no reason to have resentment against Ghost or the St. Patrick family in general. If anything, Tariq should have resentment towards his family because they actually received an inheritance while Tariq is out here hustling and selling drugs. And don't get me wrong, Tasha and Tariq completely put themselves in this position in the first place by killing Ghost, but that still don't mean Tariq wouldn't feel away. Especially the hate he had for Angela, even bringing her up right before shooting Ghost in the chest, saying, "I'd do anything to go back to the way it was before you left us for Angela." But keep in mind that Junior is a DEA agent and the DEA is a federal agency not bound to the New York area. So for this reason, Junior being showed could be foreshadowed of what's to come on the upcoming season of Force. Blanca was already interested in looking into the activity going on in Chicago, but was told by her boss to stay on task. If Agent Young proves himself to be a valuable asset to the DEA, maybe Blanca will task Junior with going to Chicago to investigate the crimes going on there, where he would be meeting up with his dear TT's killer. And we will assume for entertainment purposes that Paz did tell Junior that Tommy Egan killed Angela, maybe even after she heard he was dead. When I made my video saying Braden was Tommy Egan's son, please save the hate. I already received enough in the comments of that video, and if you want to hate, go to that video and do it. But in the comments, I had at least 3 different people tell me that Junior was actually the character who is Tommy Egan's son. When Paz was first introduced in OG Power, she did ask Ghost about Tommy Egan and called him a mau mau, which is Puerto Rican slang, basically calling Tommy a lame or a punk. This could be because she had to raise Junior all on her own. Remember how Kate hid Tony Teresi from Tommy? This could be history repeating itself, except this time Tommy doesn't even know his son exists and Junior thinks his dad is dead or something like that, some kind of lie. Also, while Junior and Paz are waiting to meet up with Ghost's attorney for the inheritance money, Kate Egan just happens to come out talking to the lawyer and Junior and Paz are waiting in the background. This could be the writers leaving us a clue. This would make things very interesting, especially if he's trying to arrest Tommy. Not sure how it would be revealed that he's Tommy's son, maybe from a blood or DNA sample from a crime scene or something like that. But sticking with Force and returning characters, I have some good news to report. I have been told that 2-Bit will be making his return season 2 of Force and that he's been casted for all 10 episodes. 2-Bit is definitely a fan favorite and served as a loyal soldier to Tommy in the past. Now that we have the return of Junior and 2-Bit, what other characters would you like to see return to the Power universe? With the return of Junior, we can definitely expect to see Paz again at some point. Sticking with the last 5 episodes of Power and the characters who were featured on those episodes. There's the Coleman family who we met in episode 611. I know everyone wants Ghost to return, but what if Andre Coleman actually survived that fire and the cops just reported him dead for his protection? What if they're trying him under a John Doe prosecution like they were going to do Lobos and he beats his case? I would love to see Dre return to Power. And I don't care what nobody say, Dre was one of my favorite characters in Power. He had some of the best kills of the whole series. Plus you know Dre gonna be hitting the blunt. Other characters to stay on the lookout for is Ramona Garrity, who had her political career destroyed by Tate after Ghost's death, and we have not seen or heard from her again since. There's also Proctor's daughter, Elisa Marie, her aunt Dolores, and Uncle Carlos Savello, the mob boss. I've heard it said that this family will be coming back into the script at some point and that Elisa Marie may even get her own spin-off. This would likely be down the line a few years when she's a little bit older. There's also Cash Grant, Lakeisha's son, and his father, Kadeem. We could definitely see Cash coming back at some point. Maybe something happens to Kadeem or something like that, and Tommy Egan takes Cash in. Most of the other characters from the final 5 episodes who survived are still in power. Tariq, Tate, Sax, Tommy Egan. Only Tasha St. Patrick is missing, who I definitely expect to see again at some point, even if she doesn't come back on a full-time basis, to at least guest star on the show periodically like we saw in season 2. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, predictions, and theories in the comments.